about you, the fans, your passion, your opinion, and for the love of the game, take center stage. Guys, I just wanted to just come on quickly just to talk about the game, because we've got a big game coming up on the weekend. Man United coming to the Emirates. This is a huge game. I keep saying it. Every single game's big. But it seems like the more we get nearer to the Premier League ending, it's getting bigger. Obviously, Arsenal's got Manchester United on the weekend, guys. I don't think this is going to get any bigger than it can get bigger than this until we get to the Manchester City game. But I don't want to talk too much about the game because it's not what I'm on here for. I'm on here to talk really about Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane. As we know, back in the days, back in the early 90s, 2000. And how the team itself was a massive rivalry because of Arsene Wenger and Alex Ferguson, the Manchester United whole team against Arsenal's whole team. But it was two individuals particular that gave it more spark than it did. And that's why Arsenal fans, we don't like Manchester United. Of course we don't. That's why they're our rivals. Yes, I know we can talk about, but people will say, but no, but Tottenham's our rival. Yeah, Tottenham's our rival. We always want to beat Tottenham. We always want to beat Tottenham. And we always will beat Tottenham. But when it came to Manchester United, that was hatred. That was hatred. Now, of course, again, we do hate Tottenham. We don't like Tottenham, but Manchester United was a bit of a different, because the reason why, because Manchester United and Arsenal was always battling for the titles, and obviously Manchester United always comes out on top majority of the time. But there was more to it. There was more to it. It was Alex Ferguson against Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger against Alex Ferguson. Roy Keane against Patrick Vieira. That's where I want to talk. That's what I want to talk about, those two. And I totally believe that Patrick Vieira was a far more superior midfielder than Roy Keane. Now, a lot of you might say, how'd you work that out? Do me a favor, guys. Please let me know. Who was the better midfielder? Patrick Vieira or Roy Keane? Now, I know you might talk about what Roy Keane, he done the treble with Manchester United. I'm not talking about what they've won. Okay? Because you can say Roy Keane has won the treble. You can say, then we can turn around and say, well, Patrick Vieira's went unbeaten the whole season. The whole season. Roy Keane didn't do that. We can even turn around and say, well, Patrick Vieira went on and won the World Cup. Roy Keane didn't do that. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Roy Keane's got a lot to say for himself. As a pundit, he acts like this. He's this holy angel. He never did anything wrong when he was a player. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. He was a bully. He was aggressive. He was out of control. And that's a fact. The fact of the matter is, Roy Keane was a bully. He was out of control. He was a menace. Couldn't control himself when he's tackling. Couldn't control himself when he's talking to his own players or to other players or to referees. I'm jumping ahead. I'm jumping ahead of it, but I'm going to be biased, but it's a fact. Go and look at his history. You can find it. Go onto social media. You'll see what kind of player this guy was. But yeah, it's a big game. It's a massive game. Man United is just coming off the back of beating Manchester City 2-0. Well done to them. Arsenal has basically had 2 draws in the league, Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. Then we went to the San Siro and we beat one of the best teams in Europe, Inter Milan, who's basically ripping up their league at the moment, unbeaten. So Arsenal went to their place and say, look, you may be unbeaten, you may be doing well, but look, this is a different level. Hold that. Beat them 3-1. So, moving forward now, Arsenal has got Manchester United. Now, I know Manchester United fans are looking forward to it. So is Arsenal fans. Manchester United fans are feeling, yep, if we can do that to Manchester City, we can do it to Arsenal. No, let's hold it right there, okay? Let's hold it right there. Manchester United, when you come to Arsenal, especially when you come to the Emirates, it's a different kettle of fish, pal. Different kettle of fish. Arsenal's on a different level. Arsenal is on a different level, and that's a fact. All right, so that's all I'm going to talk about is the game, about that. I think Arsenal beat Man United 2-0. I do believe that. I do believe that was too strong for them. And then I believe Manchester United will come out. They will come out to play against us. They will come out and play because they need the 3 points as much as we need that 3 points. So that would suit Arsenal, because 95% of teams in the Premier League all come out with low blocks against Arsenal, and we deal with it. We deal with it. So let's get back to Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane. Yeah? This is a rival you would never ever exist again. Totally different. It's totally different now. When Arsenal played Man United back in the early 90s and 2000s, that was rivalry. We used to look forward to. You can feel the tension. You can feel the tension if you went to the game, or you can feel the tension on TV, or even before the game was being built. You know, the match build up and everything else. You can feel the tension in fans, in the managers, in the players, in your city. You can feel it when Arsenal was going to play Manchester United, or Manchester United was going to play Arsenal, whether there was that at the Highbury, whether that was Highbury at Old Trafford, or Old Trafford at the Emirates. You can feel it. But now, things are a little bit different. But I just want to go back to Vieira and Patrick, and the reason why I'm saying this, why I said Vieira is a much better player, midfield player, was a better midfield player than Roy Keane. This week, Arsenal's obviously, all right, we're going to be playing Manchester United. And before we even talk about that, I mean, let's look. Patrick Vieira, let's talk big. Let's just be honest there. Patrick Vieira, Roy Keane. It's not a debate. It's not a debate. It's a bloody war. When those two got on that, even before they got on the field, it was a war. And I will say it really, so I would really say, so Manchester United fans, don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable. Patrick Vieira was the better midfield player. Better. He was far the better midfield player than Roy Keane. And that's a fact. And today I'm gonna tell you why. With the stats, with the receipts and a little bit of Arsenal bias. Let's just be honest. I'm going to be honest, all right? Because that's allowed. Because I know if it was Manchester United supporters, you want to go have a go at Arsenal. So I'm a big Arsenal fan, as you know, and I'm going to talk about. I'm going to have a little bit of bias. Right. If you didn't live through that period with Arsenal and Manchester United back in 98, 2005, let me explain something. All right, let me explain something. This wasn't just about football. This was about personal. It just wasn't football. It was personal. It was personal with Sir Alex Ferguson. It was personal with Arsene Wenger. It was personal with Roy Keane. It was personal with Patrick Vieira. And it was personal with the fans. That is what I loved back then. It was personal all round. It was personal all round. Arsene Wenger having a go at Ferguson. Ferguson having a go at Wenger. Ferguson calling Arsene Wenger that the man from Japan. The man from Japan, never heard of him. Never heard of him. Who is he? Never heard of him. Arsene Wenger calling him the control freak. Trying to control the referees, trying to control the outcome of the game. And even worse, Patrick Vieira having a go at Roy Keane in the tunnel. That's what I want to talk about. Okay, Keane offering Patrick out on the pitch and everything else. You know, and I do believe, pound for pound, honestly, if they let them go at it, pound for pound, it would have messed him up. Patrick would have messed him up, and that's a fact. Pat's taller than him. Pat is stronger than him and bigger than him physically. Pat would have done him. Patrick would have done him, and that's a fact. But I'm not here to just talk about that, the physical side of things. I am really, but I just want to get to the point. You had Arsene Wenger, you had Alex Ferguson, the two managers who generally couldn't stand each other. Arsene Wenger brought nutrition to the game, tactics to the game, and calmness to the game. And confidence. Alex Ferguson brought mind games, fear, and control. And right in the middle of that war was the two boys, Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane. Two captains, two enforcers. Two men who genuinely believed that the other one didn't belong on that pitch. Patrick Vieira did, part of Roy Keane didn't. Roy Keane never had no skills. Roy Keane never had no skills whatsoever. I'm not going to put him down because Roy Keane was a good midfield player. He never had no skills. He was just out of control. He was given the license to be out of control. Aggressive, in your face. I would have slapped it down. I would have. I would have. And I would have got a red card for it, but I would have slapped it down. Wouldn't have taken it. Just wouldn't have taken that. sometimes the way he went on. All right? And that's the truth. So let's start with some facts, because feeling, because findings aside, Vieira, all right, Vieira case is strong. All right. Now let's drop this. Let's just drop this for a minute. All right. Tell me what you guys think. All right. Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane faced each other. I think it was 12 times in the Premier League. All right. United. Right. Pat won 3. Roy Keane won 4. And out of that, 5 draws. Now, let me tell you something about some of those games. I remember a game when Arsenal was going unbeaten, 49 games, and Wayne Rooney took a dive in the penalty area, and that was a blatant dive, and the referee gave a penalty. Now that should never have happened. That should never have happened. But because referees back then, in them days, were scared of Alex Ferguson, the Football Association was scared of Alex Ferguson, with his time holding his watch, looking at his watch and stuff like that, and getting angry with referees and being a bully, being a spoilt brat. Got away with it. Referee was 100% scared of Alex Ferguson and of Manchester United then. So Manchester United could get away with blue murder. They could have got away with anything. Referees and the association, not just the association of the referees, an association of the Premier League and the league at that time, made Manchester United get away with murder. Now, obviously, out of those draws, I would say, all right, Manchester United didn't beat Arsenal, get 4 out of Arsenal, and Patrick got 3, and Roy Keane got 4. No, I don't believe that. It should be the other way around. It should be Arsenal's, in some of those draws, it should be 5, and Man United got 3 out of it, something like that, because that's how it was. Keane scored 3 goals in his games, all right, and Arsenal and Vieira got 1 against Manchester United. So he scored 3 times against the Arsenal. Pat's got 1 against them. Now, United fans love that stat. I get that. I bet you guys love it. You'll say, yeah, Man United's this, Man United's that. Yeah, okay. But I still say Manchester United, 95% of your games, okay, was intimidation. All right? That's intimidation. This is why this is why Roy Keane got away with murder. He got away with murder. All right? He got away with murder. Okay. But here's what they don't tell you. But here's what they don't really tell you. Roy Keane was a destruction. He was a destruction. It was. Roy Keane was a destruction. All right? Roy Keane's job was to disrupt. All right? That's what Roy Keane's job was. He was a destruction. It was just to disrupt. That's what he was. That's his job. Patrick Vieira's job was to destruct and construct. It was to disrupt and construct. And that's the difference. That's the difference between them two. He was there to disrupt. Patrick Vieira was there to disrupt, but also to construct. And that's the difference between Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira. There's more to it than that, though, but I'm going to go into it. Vieira was a winning. Vieira was the ball winner, carrying it through to the midfield, starting attacks, and still controlling the ground. All right, defensively. That's what Patrick was. Patrick was the winning. He won the ball. He carried the ball through to the midfield. He was very good of controlling the ball. He was very good at that. He was very good in starting attacks. Patrick Vieira was amazing at that. And still controlling the ground. Defensively. That Roy Keane didn't do that. Roy Keane was mostly just in the middle. Roy Keane, yeah, he went up front sometimes, and he did score some good goals. But Roy Keane wasn't that box to box midfielder that what we call today. Roy Keane was never that. Roy Keane never had skills. Roy Keane couldn't control the ball as good as Patrick Vieira. Roy Keane couldn't conduct the midfield as much as Patrick Vieira. He was there to disrupt. And that's what it was. He was there to kill the game, kill that opponent, go for that opponent, take him out, wipe him out. Let him know that you're there. That is it. That was it. That was Patrick. That was Roy Keane's qualities. Now you might think I'm wrong, yeah? But here you go. Roy Keane loved a battle. Let's be honest. Roy Keane loved a battle. But you know the difference is? You know the difference between him and Vieira? Roy Keane fought, all right? Roy Keane fought battles. Patrick controlled the wars. That's the difference, guys. That's the difference. Think about it. Roy Keane at that time fought battles. He did. He fought battles. Roy Keane, when it comes to fighting battles, Roy Keane was your man. But to control the war, to control the battle, and to win that war, Vieira controlled it. He won the wars. That's the difference. That's a mic drop there, pal. That's a mic drop there. Okay, so I'm just trying to give different, my opinions. My opinions may be wrong. Please let me know in the chat. Guys, if you let me know in the chat, I'll read them out. I would read them out. And the good ones, that is. All right, I'll read the good ones out if you let me know. And so what? Where are we? So yeah. So obviously he loved the battle. Patrick controlled the wars. This is where the debate actually ends for me with Patrick and Keane. Patrick was a bigger, faster, more technical, and a more versatile player. Am I wrong? Please let me know why. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Pat was a bigger, faster, and technical and more versatile player than Roy Keane was. Pat can sit deep. All right? Patrick Vieira could sit deep. He could go from box to box. He can drive through midfield like a freight train, if you wanted to. That's how Pat was. That's how good he was. He just goes through the middle like a freight train. He could pass a long, pass a short, and arrive late in that box. He'll get a goal. He'll get a goal for you. He's going to disrupt. what's going on there. Confuse that that defense with his long stature, long legs. He was very, very good. Roy Keane was short. What was Roy Keane? I thought it was Roy Keane, 5'2". Right? Roy Keane, 5'2". I mean, do you know what I mean? Not putting him down. Not putting him down. Roy was all right. He was all right, but he wasn't an out-and-out midfielder. He wasn't a maestro like Patrick. He wasn't up the front as much as Patrick. He wasn't in defence as much as Patrick. Maybe I'm being biased. Again, please let me know what you think. Am I being biased? Am I being biased? But what I'm trying to say, these are characters. You don't get these two characters. I do miss the battles. Literally the battles these two had was unbelievable. So yeah, so there we go. All right. So I mean, Roy was a thug. Let's just be totally honest about it. I'm not just saying it. Roy Keane was a thug. Roy Keane, all he cared about, Roy Keane, was going out to hurt someone, going out to put someone out injured, all right, to end someone's career. Look what happened to Haaland's father. Check and have a look what happened to Haaland's father when he played against Roy Keane. Roy Keane should have been banned for at least 6 months for some of those tackles that he did. Roy Keane was an elite. I mean, Roy Keane was an elite. He was a leader. He was a leader. No question. He was in that. But Vieira could dominate a game without shouting at anyone. Roy Keane, he wasn't an elite player. He did have intensity and leadership. No question about it. He did. But Patrick Vieira, he can absolute dominate a game with just without shouting. Roy Keane's in your face. In your face. But me, if I was a player, because I remember I used to play when I was a kid, boy. I never played professionally, but when I used to play, someone used to come over to my face, I used to go, get out of my face. Whether that was my captain or opposition. Get out of my face. Do you know what I mean? But Roy Keane used to do that all the time, and players used to accept it. Couldn't accept it. Wouldn't accept it. Wouldn't have accepted it. And that's a fact. I would not have accepted that. So I mean, modern compositions competitions angles up. If Patrick was playing today, he would be called a complete midfielder, and I reckon he will be worth. If Patrick was playing today, he would be called the complete midfielder, and I think he'd be worth around, I'll say 130 million today. I do. I think he'd be worth that. I think he'd be worth 120 million, 130 million. Roy Keane would be called an elite, an elite mentality. I don't know what I mean by that, but yeah, his mentality and he would be suspended every other week. Roy Keane, could you imagine if Roy Keane was playing today? And the tackles that Roy Keane did back then, and he did that now. Roy Keane would be suspended every other week. I don't think Manchester United would have him for the whole season. In fact, I reckon he'll be suspended for half the season. For half the season, he would be suspended. And that's the truth. I mean, and look, Roy Keane would drag his teammates with him. He would. Roy Keane would drag his teammates with him. Patrick Vieira don't drag you. He don't drag you. He elevates. He elevates his players around him. That's the difference. Roy Keane will drag his teammates with him. And if that means being dirty, playing dirty football, and we lose the game, then fine, let's do that. Pat don't do that, man. Pat would just elevate his players because why? Because Pat's a strong player. He's very skillful. He's okay. He's very the way he plays. He's got this aura about him that says, "Look, I'm a winner. I am a winner." Okay, and I'm gonna bring you guys with me. Follow me. Here we go. Let's do this, guys. Let's do it together. Not knock him down or give him a karate kick, and you know what I mean. Let him know that you're there. Come on, stop it, man. Do you know what I mean? That was Roy Keane, and this is what you guys are talking about: a great midfielder, a great leader. No. No, he wasn't. He totally wasn't, guys. Okay, for me, he wasn't. All right. So that's another week. That's another thing. That's another reason why I don't think Roy Keane is that midfield player that everyone makes out to be. Because if you go back and look at the way Roy Keane played and the way that he won his duels in defending or tackling, however you want to do it. I reckon 80% of it, he would have been sent off in this day modern football. He would have been. So that's what I believe. I really do believe that. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this tunnel incident. I might show you a video of it as well. All right, but let's talk about this tunnel incident. For my memory, back in 2005 at Highbury, Patrick Vieira, Roy Keane, and I think Gary Neville was involved with this. Apparently, allegedly, Patrick Vieira apparently was supposed to be bullying Gary Neville. And Roy Keane must have saw it and he weren't happy with it, so he wanted to have a go at Patrick Vieira. Patrick must have basically squirted some water somewhere, I don't know. I hope he'd done it in his face, because I would have done it in his face. I went, in his face, pal, let's have it. Let's have it. We don't need to go on the pitch, let's have it now. Let's do it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I heard, all right? So, the tunnel. There was no football. There was no football. Yeah, there was no ball kicks. Just Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, staring each other down. I mean, there was some, you know what I mean, they're getting ready for a weigh-in. Do you know what I mean? For boxing, for the heavyweight championship of the world, and Patrick would have knocked him out. Pat would have knocked the fuck out of him. And that's a fact. Pat would have knocked him out. But that's how it was happening, because there was no football played yet, no kickoff, just them two boys in the tunnel, eyeing it out, eyeball to eyeball, referee in the middle. You know what I mean? Pat staying calm. Remember, Pat staying calm in that tunnel. Roy Keane giving it all to Johnny, giving it all to Big Un. Yes, see, I'll see you on the pitch. No, don't see me on the pitch. If I was Power Terror, I said, what do you want to see me on the pitch for? Let's do it now, pal. Let's have it now. Why? Because if we go on the pitch, you know, people's going to pull us apart. Oh, no, you think I'm going to get a red card on the pitch? No, let's do it now. In fact, let's go back to the changing room, me and you, pal, and let's sort it out. Let's just sort it out. No, but Roy Keane wanted to keep all the big uns because he knows that he can get away with dirtiness on the field. That is what he wanted. All right? So Keane told him, I'll see you out there. Vieira didn't even blink. He didn't even blink. That moment alone has been, I'll tell you what, that incident alone, all right, has been watched more times than some Champions League finals. Just that event. And I'm going to show it to you guys. I will show it to you. I will show it. Let me see if I can, while I'm talking to you guys, I'll see if I can cue it up. Because it was a funny incident, and everything. And let me see if I can cue it up for you guys. Because if I was Pat, honestly, if I was Pat, honestly, I would have said, no, pal. No. I would have said, no, pal. You want to do something to me? You want to do something? Let's do something. You know what I mean? All right. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger and make me smaller. Do you know what I mean? All right. And, let me see if I can play it for you. All right. This is the incident that I'm talking about.
Well, they really don't come much bigger than this.
They thought it was provocation.
No comment.
Two of the game's most fierce rivals.
Patrick Vieira was apparently threatening some of our players. He was well wound up for it.
It's about the psychological battle.
Manchester United and Arsenal, the two dominators of the 1990s and early 2000s, charged by an intense rivalry flowing from the touchline to the pitch.
There's still a lot of bad feeling between these clubs.
A passion embodied by many, but none more.
I'm going to try and find out. Let me see if I can find the part. I mean, I know it was a little bit earlier, but I'm going to try and see if I can find that the incident part. Do you know what I mean? The part where them two collided. Now, I mean, I think they showed a little bit at the beginning. Let's go back again. Let's see if we can. What we got here? Let's see if we can start it from here, guys, and see if we can. See up there. See up there. Shut your mouth up, yeah. Come on, Come on, Pat. What do you mean, Pat?
Well, they really don't come much bigger than this.
They thought it was provocation.
Honestly.
See up there. See up there. Shut your mouth up, yeah. Come on,
Look at him like it was like nothing. It was like nothing. Do you know what I mean? Shut up. And then you saw what happened on the pitch. I mean, again, let's have a look a bit more. And
well, they really don't come much bigger than this.
They thought it was.
That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, look at the tackle. Look at that. Look at that. If anyone looks at that, right, have a look. All right, how far his legs is. Have a look how far Roy Keane's leg is. That is a send-off. That is a red card if there ever is one. Has he been sent off? Was he sent off? I don't think he was sent off for that. I don't think. I'll give you a bit. I'll give you some more. Look at this.
Provocation.
No comment.
Two of the game's most fierce rivals.
Patrick Vieira was apparently threatening.
Now look at that. Okay, did you see that? Did you see when he jumped on him, on his legs? All right, you didn't see that. No one see that. All right, did you not see where he jumped on his legs?
Fierce rivals.
Patrick Vieira was apparently threatening.
There. I can go on, guys. I can go on. This is what I'm saying. Let me see if I can turn this down. All right. He was no football player. He was a thug. Look at him. He was a thug. That is all Roy Keane was a thug. And you want to say who was the best? Was Roy Keane the best midfielder? No, I can name another 5 better midfielders. 5 better midfielders than Roy Keane. Roy Keane was a thug, and that is it. Roy Keane was a thug. And do you remember the time when Gabriel Makelele? No, not Makelele. Was it Makelele? No, it was Gabriel. One of the Gabriels, anyway. All right. When the Liverpool played Liverpool, and the Liverpool player was on the floor rolling about like he was shot. But Martinelli didn't know that he was injured. Martinelli didn't know what he was injured, and Martinelli tried to pick him up and push him off the thing. Now, Roy Keane said that was out of order. How dare you? You can't play like that. As a professional footballer, you can't do those things. Who the heck is he? After what he did when he was a footballer. Who are you? Who are you to tell me or kids, oh, you can't do that as a professional footballer? Shall we go back in the archives, Roy Keane? Should we go back in the archive, Roy Keane, and have a look what you used to do to your fellow professionals? Shut up, pal. Shut up. You was not a great midfield player. You was not. You was a thug. He was a thug, and that I will say every single day. He was a thug. And that is why I say Patrick Vieira was a maestro. Okay? And that's a fact. All right? Oh, I'm going to calm down. Keane I mean, come on. Keane would tell him, I'll see you out there. I mean, come on, what are you going to see me out there for? Why do you want to see Patrick out there? It didn't make sense. Made no sense to me. You're supposed to be a professional football player, not a thug. You're not a boxer. All these things add up to who you are as a professional footballer. Your mentality as a midfielder. That honestly, like I said, that little incident there was played more. I think it's been played more times than Champions Leagues replays. So all right. So the battle. All right. So let's moving on. The battle at Old Trafford. Then there was that game at the Old Trafford when Vieira got sent off. United got a last minute penalty. Van Nistelrooy, because you had Alex Ferguson, the referees were scared. All right, you have Wayne Rooney done a dive. It was a blatant dive. They got it. I think that was the one when Arsenal, if I'm correct, when Arsenal went 49 times unbeaten. All we needed one more to hit the halfway mark. And Rooney done a dive and they got the penalty. And look what happened after everyone could. I think everyone remember what happened there with Van Nistelrooy after when he missed the penalty and David Seaman say, no, he never did. Seaman say, no, I think it went over the bar or something. But anyway, he didn't score. Do you know what I mean? All right. He missed that penalty. They got a dodgy penalty from Wayne Rooney diving. And they missed it. That was justice. That was justice. I mean, all the Arsenal players, you remember all the Arsenal players surrounded him? I think it was Ray Parlour. There was Ray Parlour and who else was around him? I'm trying to think of the players who was around him at the time. I'll get it in my head. I think it was it Ray Parlour? Anyway, players surrounded him. All right, players surrounded him and stuff. And Martin Keown, when he jumped up in the air and he landed on his shoulder. Way, bang, bang. And Van Nistelrooy pretended, oh, what did I do wrong? Referee, please help me, save me. Look, they're trying to mug me. What's going on? Oh. Yeah, do you remember that? Justice was paid then. Justice was paid for that lie. That hurt me. I remember that. That did hurt me. That really did hurt me. Okay, justice was served. All right? There was no social media apologies. There was no PR statement. Just pure ghost. Pure ghost. The FA found but the FA found Arsenal guilty, as they would do. Surprise, surprise. I think it was £170,000 fine then. I think that was a record then. that wasn't a bad behavior. That was, I mean, that was, I mean, I'm trying to say the rivalry is not there anymore. That wasn't bad behavior. That was rivalry. That was rivalry. And it's not like that today. It's not the same. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that intention, even though obviously I want my team to win, but I'm not feeling that intention. We've got to beat them. We've got to, get them out of the way. Get them out. No, we just got to beat them. We have just got to beat them. We've just got to beat them. It's a big game. It is a massive game, but we've got to beat them. Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm trying to say. I'm missing that little rivalry. Even though I didn't like Keane. I didn't like him. The way his attitude, the way he was, like this God-given right, because Manchester United got to win everything. But I still miss all that rivalry. I miss that rivalry. But with Keane, you definitely, 100% was no way in Vieira's class. Now let's look at Arsenal. Let's look at Arsenal versus Manchester United today. Let's have a look. This is what I'm getting at now. I mean, we'll get back to Roy. We will get into Roy. All right, but let's look at it today. You've got no characters. Roy was a thug. He was uncontrollable. He was menacing. He was. But no class. No skills. No self-control. But, you know, I still miss that because that's what made us look forward to beating them. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's too lovey-dovey today about the social media. All right? So there's still history there. Yep, there's still history. Still got banter. But the banter, I think, is more hatred between the fans rather than the players. Do you know what I mean? I want those players to hate them. I want Arsenal players to hate Man United players. You know what I mean? I want my manager to not to like Manchester. Well, you can't say like Manchester United managers because there ain't none. Do you know what I mean? Manchester United changed their managers more than I have hot drinks, pal. Getting ridiculous. I think they got that from Chelsea as well and Tottenham. Jeez! Imagine that. Tottenham, Chelsea, Man United. How many managers have left these clubs since Arteta's been there? How many managers have Tottenham had? Anyone in the comment, please let me know. How many managers have Liverpool had, Chelsea had? Since Arteta's been there. Crazy. Absolute crazy. Characters, like I said. You had characters. You had Vieira. He was a character. You had, you had Keane. Keane was a character. Even though he was mad, he was crazy, he was a character. I loved him. And the thing about, like I said earlier, just now, there ain't no Arsene Wenger. He was a character. There is no Ferguson. He's a character. Guys, tell me other characters if there's other characters you can think of as well in rival teams or whatever, let us know in the comment. Please put in the comments and let us know. Guys, please do us a favor as well. Please subscribe to the channel. Really would help us out. Please like as well. And please share it with your friends. Okay, and let us know what you think about, is there characters in football anymore? Is there really any rivalries? I'm not talking about rivalries with fans. I think that would always be there. But I'm talking about with managers, with players, revenge. You know what I mean? Today's tactical debate, press conference, and Instagram apologies. That's all it is. Tactical debates, press conferences, and Instagram apologies. What's going on with us, man? What's going on with these footballers? You cannot like each other, you know. You can. It's like Tottenham and Arsenal. Your players should not be liking Arsenal. In fact, your players should be having a go at Arsenal. Arsenal should be having a go at Tottenham players. Do you know what I mean? Have a go. Well, who's their manager? Yeah, he's manager. Even though Tottenham's manager, I like him if I'm totally honest with you. But then again, Arteta should be having a go at him. Have a go at him, Arteta. Have a go at Tottenham's manager for carrying a cup with Arsenal's logo on it. Have a go at him, Arteta. Let him know. That's stupid, pal. Don't tell me you didn't see it. Don't tell me you did not see the Arsenal logo on that cup. You support Arsenal. You support Arsenal. Or someone in there wants you out. Do you know what I mean? Come on, man. You knew that cup was on. You knew that you drinking out of an Arsenal cup. Secretly love Arsenal. All right. All right. So yeah. So that, I mean, honestly, that's what. Excuse me. That's what I believe. Back then you can feel the what do you call it? The heat. You can feel the heat, the hurt, or what the heat through the TV. You can feel it. The passion was coming from the managers and coming from the players, coming from the supporters, coming from the ground. You can feel it. Do you know what I mean? All right, but today, yeah, we got Man United. Of course, we need to win this. Of course, it's a big game. But it's not, you know what I mean? Stuff them. Give it to them. Can't stand that player. You know, that's just... Look, guys, I mean, that's what I believe anyway. Today's Rivals is competitive. Back then, it was violent poetry. I'm not advocating violence, guys. I'm just saying it was a violent poetry. It was like mouth to mouth, having a go. You have a go at me. You say this and I'll say that to you. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Because I mean, I don't want to talk about just 1 minute. I'm talking about calling Roy Keane violent, but you're advocating violence. No, I'm not. It was more of the war of the words. More war of the words. You know, that's what I was advocating, guys. You know what I mean? So yeah. So anyway, so let's just say it. Let's just say it clearly. All right. Especially ahead of this weekend's game. Roy Keane was a legendary captain, 100%. I'm not gonna say he's not. A great serial winner, all right, and an all-time competitor. He was a competitor, an uncontrolled competitor, but he was a competitor. More complete. Sorry, what am I talking about here? Yeah, he was a competitor. But let me tell you this, and I'm going to be honest with you. This is the difference. He wasn't, don't forget, like I said, he was a serial winner and he was an all-time competitor. That's it. That is it. The difference between him and Patrick. He was complete. He was more complete, more dominant. He was more influential on how football is played today. Keane made sure you suffered. He did. Keane made you suffer. He did. He made sure you suffered. He made sure you knew that he was there. Patrick made sure you lost control. Patrick made you. He made sure you lost control. You was losing control with him. Pat was skillful. He was good in the air. He can take shots. He was good in box to box. He was a maestro. I'm not making that up, guys. Have a look at the games. Have a look how he used to play. All right. until Arsenal versus Manchester United have played. Sorry, I want to say it here. Until Arsenal versus Manchester United have players like that again, all right? Until we don't have players like that again. We don't. Who am I thinking? Let's have a look over the Arsenal. Let's have a look. Declan Rice? No, we don't have. Declan Rice is a nice guy. Martin Zubimendi? No. Odegaard? No. Do you know the closest one to it? If I'm honest, if I'll say in Arsenal, Gabriel Makelele. He is the closest one who's got a character. Look at the way when he defends, all right, and he makes the tackles. It's like scoring a goal. All right. Look at when he goes up and score a goal as a defender. He's like he celebrates like a striker. Look how he leads the players on the field. That's a character. I think that's the nearest thing. Because when I say Man United's got any characters in there? Nope. In their team. No, I don't think Man United's got any characters in their team at all. I really don't. Again, guys, let me know in the comments who do you think who's got character, who's got charisma. Let us know in the comments, please. So yeah, that's what I believe. All right, and I'm thinking about what some people are saying. Some Man United supporters are saying right now. Truly, what are they? What are they thinking? What are they thinking? I mean, we'll be chasing we've been chasing rivalry that can never truly be recaptured. We couldn't. Arsenal, I mean, this day and age, you could not get the same sort of characters back then. You can never get the same. We can never get the same sort of characters back then now that you had back then. Everyone's just everyone's just mostly on their social media saying sorry. Don't want to get out, don't want to say the wrong things. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Look, guys, I think I'm going to be finished up now. So I just thought I wanted to just let off steam. I really, really want to find out from everyone who, I mean, forgive my bias, like you could say I'm biased, but who do you think was the best midfielder out of Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane? And why? Let us know why. Let us know in the comments. Please let us know. Next time, best ones, I'll read them out. Look, we got Arsenal. Arsenal's got Man United on Sunday. We've got to win this. We have got to win this. This is no if, no buts. This is a big one. This is a huge one. This is a massive one. We cannot lose or draw. We cannot. We have to win this. City's playing Wolves. Obviously, I believe City will win that. I definitely think City will win that. It will bring our points down to 4. That'll put pressure on Arsenal to win the game against Man United. Okay, we're still on top of the league. We're through for the Champions League knockout last 16. We're in the League Cup, Carabao Cup semi-finals. Got 1 foot up to Wembley. We're in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Things are going well for Arsenal. All I'm going to say to everyone out there, every single Arsenal fan out there, just enjoy the ride. Don't worry about the negativity, what everyone's saying about Arsenal's set piece FC or everyone's ball or this time around it's boring. The only reason why they're saying it is because it takes the emphasis off their own team because their team is shit. All right? So don't take any of this negativity or don't take any of this what do you call it? Anything that they're saying, trying to diminish what Arsenal's doing right now. Arsenal are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing right now. Right now. Okay? So get with it, guys. Stick with it. All right? And all I'm going to say is, up the Arsenal. Thanks, everyone. Please subscribe. Please follow. Please share, guys. And I will definitely see you on the other side. All the way.